It's your boy Bones back with another banger. This time we're doing a video that's themed off of Jurassic Park. Can't wait to get into this one. This is going to be a good video. Tons of dinosaurs, tons of good gameplay. Alright, so as soon as this theme music cuts down, I'm going to get into this video. Alright, so I basically decided to do a dinosaur themed deck for this video. So it's a bunch of dinosaurs, and then just a few other spells I just kind of threw in the mix to, make for a good deck. Please watch to the end of the third gameplay. There's a total of 3 for this video. The third one by far is the best, so I did save the best for last. This first gameplay, I'm playing on an alternate account. I think, yeah, I think it's just this one that plays on the alternate account. The other two, you'll see I go to my main account and use an entirely different deck and play in historic. So this first one I decided to play in standard with a, a dino deck that was mostly pre-built, but so that card I was just looking at there, the Calamity, that's not a dinosaur card, but I did add it to the mix because it does some pretty good things. In fact, I had one gameplay I chose not to add to the video just to keep this one short, but I considered adding it because it was such a good gameplay. It was a game in which I lost, but I did get to use that Calamity card and do some pretty cool things with that. So the opponent I'm playing against is playing a Rakdos color scheme with red and black, and I got that Raptor into play, which is a pretty nice, 4 mana cost, 4/4 creature with trample and haste. It's kind of sneaky, gets in for some good damage. Also has the ability to like pump it up if you wanted to, but yeah. So here I decided to take this guy out. Looked like he would, cause me some problems. He's a 3/3 with menace. This card, another card that's not specifically a dinosaur, but helps to get your other dinosaurs in play. Good thing I didn't have anything too big when he used that furnace range to grab my creature. But he attacks this battle, gets this flipped over. This Ashen Reaper is the flipped over version of that battle. Pretty decent, but I end up putting the Armored Kincaller. Not the most OP dinosaur card, but it's a 3 mana cost card. I feel like it's a nice addition to the deck. Does gain you some life. I believe in the gameplay where I did lose, I was also using the Calamity with that and just gaining a bunch of life each turn with a bunch of those. So winning game 1 was a short, quick, and easy game. My opponent decided to scoop. Not sure why, because I thought the game was far from over, but I had a little board state and was removing the things that he was putting down. So in this next turn, you can see I switched to my main account. I start out with this 2-land opening hand, which is never quite the best scenario to be in. I do have that lightning strike as a burn spell. Um, I'm holding on to it just in case I need it as a bit of removal. You'll see in the third gameplay that Sylvan Awakening comes in handy, but okay, here I get a hit in with my 3/3 creature. I was kind of worried my opponent might have like counter spell magic that he was holding on to, or at least removal, but you know. Okay, so here he finally gets me with the removal. And at the moment, I have no creature spells. Nothing that I can, you know, immediately play. He gets down to Sheldred. Now, you know, if you know, Sheldred's definitely one of the most powerful creature cards. You know, its triggered ability is pretty annoying to deal with. Every time you draw a card, if you don't know, it pings you for two life, and then when your opponent draws cards, it gains him 2 life. So pretty one of the best 4 mana drops in black, that the game has. So my opponent gets this Oracle of Alpha into play. Always an excellent addition to any decks with blue in historic. Just for the fact that that Oracle of Alpha adds a bunch of like artifacts that could help you as mana ramp, but then that time walk and the draw 3 cards, definitely definitely two of the best cards that card produces, and just a nice addition to any decks with blue. So my opponent blocks, but I got trample, so I'm able to get some damage in through him. And this thing, you know, is a Phyrexian dinosaur, so a little unique dinosaur card. But that when it deals damage to the opponent, puts those poison counters on. So I got some removal that I want to use on that Sheldred, but I'm capped out at the moment. My opponent decides he doesn't want to deal with that dinosaur, because that is a pretty big card, but he decides to use the board wipe and wipes out his Sheldred at the same time. So yeah, so be it. So still, I'm sitting on basically all instant and sorceries. No permanent card in my hand, but my opponent has a backup Sheldred, so it makes sense why he decided to sweep the board. You know, obviously he's not missing out on anything. My health total, or my life total, is getting dangerously low. I'm down to 7 health. Feels like opponent has me back against the ropes, but I do have card advantage. That's always something that you got to take into consideration, is like, you know, really powerful, um, really powerful aspect of the game is to keep more cards in hand than your opponent. It gives you more options, things you can do. So I had to use 2 bits of removal there to get the full, damage in order to wipe out Sheldred. Some people pronounce it as Sheoldred, something like that, but whatever. So here it appears that we're at a little bit of a stalemate. Just deciding whether or not I should throw in a second one of these. Decide that, yeah, that's really my only play at the moment, so. That Savage Stomp is pretty nice, bit of removal, but, you know, I'm not a big fan of, like, target removal that just gets rid of a single target. That's sorcery speed. I prefer, if I'm using any target removal, that it's instant speed. You know, obviously sweepers are gonna be sorcery speed, but that's fine. They're gonna wipe out multiple things, so it's kind of worth it in that sense. But yeah, I got plenty of lands, just waiting on something big that I can actually play. This historic deck has plenty of big dinosaur spells that I could play. Just hoping I could dig through my deck and get some. I decided to gain the life here just to play it safe. I actually think that's the only option really for that Glorious Sunrise. The draw card ability on that Glorious Sunrise, it's really nice, but you do have to have a creature in play. Most of Green's abilities and effects and stuff like that are based on creatures. So I got this really nasty dinosaur card, as you can see. I'm pretty sure I decided to use the draw card ability there since I have a creature big enough to trigger that. But yeah, this 10/10 dinosaur card is super nasty. It's pretty much, it has haste. It can attack the turn that comes into play. It acts as a bit of a removal since you can, target to fight one of your opponent's creatures. So I wipe that guy out, and I get in for 10 damage. So my opponent, one card in hand, really doesn't have much options or much plays at his disposal. He does go ahead and tries to hit me with it, but that card has Ward 10, which is no way he'd be able to play that removal spell and pay for 10 ward cost. So that obviously wouldn't have worked. He decided to quit the game and on to the next one. All right, so now we're on to game three. Game three, this is the most exciting game of the bunch. And it's just under 10 minutes of total gameplay. So, relatively average to short game. It ends crazy. My opponent, shout out to my opponent. Looks like his name is Daniel MTG. He put up a good fight in this one. Now, if you look at my open hand, it's looking ideal for the most part. I got 3 lands. That's what I always look for. I do have a creature spell I can play by turn 3. I got that removal, and then I got 2 different versions of Itali. I got Itali the Primal Storm, and then the other Itali, which is Primal Conqueror. Both really, really good dinosaur cards in red. They're not nice cards for the opponent to have to deal with if they remain on the battlefield. So got my Charioteer. He decides to remove it before I can get an attack in, but go ahead and throw this out. Another nice little dinosaur. It's a 4 mana cost card. That's a 5/5. If you happen to have that card in later game and you can pay for its kicker cost, you can use that as a little bit of removal. It's kind of nice, built into the creature card with some removal. So now he ends up playing this. A really nice way of drawing cards out of your deck. Um, yeah, I typically decide to just gamble and lose the life on the first time that ability triggers. But the following turns, I'm generally gonna just let my opponent draw a card. So it's it's a really nasty artifact that you prefer to remove if you can. Now here he plays the Nazgul. I go ahead and remove it right away because that thing has Death Touch. So even if I do get one of my big dinosaurs into play, I'd have to contend with that probably taking me out. So I get this big 10/10 dinosaur. The only thing that guy is missing is trample. Of course, my opponent's playing black, so he's got removal spell for days. He's just removing everything that I put into play. Can't get anything to stick around just long enough to get, at least one hit in. But nice, I got the next card land drop, so I'm able to drop this Itali Primal Storm. He hits me with the nice, thanks opponent. Oh, there you go. Another removal spell. Look at that. 3 Claim the Precious. So his orb artifact triggers again. This is helping him gain card advantage every turn that card is in play. He's able to kind of filter through the deck. So here I get the other tally, and look what I got. A Braid. Just what I need. Let's get rid of that artifact. And then I get a Claim the Precious. Unfortunately, I have nothing to use it on. And it's not like Discover where you get the option to play it immediately, or you could put it in your hand. That would have been great if Itali had that ability, because the one drawback to that Itali is that if you play it and you don't get anything playable off the top of either your or your opponent's deck, then it basically kind of whiffs on getting a potential card. So I try to use this removal on him here. He throws in an instant. This guy's got a lot of tricks up his sleeves. I mean, for black, he's removing everything that I put into play. Like I said, those Nazguls, they're pretty annoying to deal with. And that Call the Ring is helping them out too. It's gonna help to keep boosting, race, I believe, or yeah. Well. Anyway, it boosts the Nazgul because we're doing the ring thing. I forget what it's called, but yeah, the ring tempts you. Yeah, every time the ring tempts you, those Nazguls get bigger and bigger in power and toughness. So. And if that wasn't enough, Death Touch on top of that, so it's like even if I blocked it with something big, it's gonna die because of the Death Touch ability. So again, another removal spell wipes out my tally. At least I got a hit in with it, and at least I did whiff on getting something I could use from my opponent's deck. But for my deck, I was able to get that Abrade off the top and wipe out at least one of his things that's helping him to keep card advantage. So my opponent's looking pretty tough. Has more cards in hand than me, so should have plenty of options to just keep this game under control. As you see, he's hitting me with the little emote, the little hee little raccoon dude with the hands and stuff like that. So a little annoyed because I feel the pressure. I feel like my opponent has kind of has the momentum underway for him. So I got that Sylvan Awakening card. I keep looking at it because I'm like, I don't know if there's like a good time to play it, because it You know, it gives you a one-time effect. So you got to use it wisely. This is really the only play. I put the Radha, I believe it's called. Um, put her into play. And then I got the Savage Stomp that I can use as removal. Now, unfortunately, I can not remove the Nazgul because this will put a counter on it. My opponent, of course, has open mana, plenty of cards, probably got another trick up his sleeve. But yeah, so since it's based on the power of the creature that it's, you know, that I'm using the target with, I can only deal up to 4 damage. So unfortunately, I'm not able to wipe out that Nazgul. So off the top of his deck, he pulls a little different Wraith card, the Ring Wraiths. So I'm watching carefully. My opponent's up to 7 mana. Wow, look at that. Little combo play. Uses the cut down to wipe him out. He does hit me with a little phrase saying I do apologize. Well, you know, I appreciate that, but you know, I'm down to 1 life. If there's ever a moment you need a Hail Mary, a hope and a prayer that you can do something with 1 life to go, that Sylvan Awakening is it. So I got just enough lands that come in as, you know, creatures that can attack, that I can take my opponent's life total from 9 right on out. So this is my moment. I get to taunt him back with the emote, since he was pretty talkative himself throughout this game. He's still laughing and emoting back. That's cool. He's a fun sport. But yeah, shout out to my opponent. This was a great gameplay. Fun deck idea to play with dinosaurs. Who doesn't like dinosaurs? Who doesn't like Jurassic Park? But peace out. Thanks for watching this video.
Creators no different, they ancient, sooner than later, what will be ours? I keep an eye out for the numbers, I stay in contact, synchronization, to infinity, even beyond it, I am a common, no destination. A lot of things I am above, and there are a lot of things that are above me. Do not come for the people I love, cause then I get scary, then I get ugly, yeah. Ain't no problem, and I'm not equation. Present, noted, observation. I'm not new here. Reborn creation, come and find me, send me location.